Hello and welcome to Almost 30 Podcast. My name is Krista Williams, and I am one half of the Almost 30 Podcast. I do this podcast with my best friend, Lindsay Simsick. We've been doing it for a while now. You don't have to be almost 30 to listen, so let's just get that out of the way. And Almost 30 is a space where I hope you find solace. I hope you feel welcomed. I hope you feel like you have community. I hope you feel seen and heard. I hope you learn something. I hope you grow. And I really use my life as an example, not even in the best way, just sharing what I learn, sharing what I've been through. And in some of the episodes of Almost 30 Podcast, Lindsay and I like to share solo episodes. So we have amazing interviews with change makers and leaders and people that really inspire me and inspire our community. And then we also do solo episodes where we like to dig deep on topics, whether it's about when to leave a relationship, or whether it's about my body journey, or whether it's about hormone health, or whether it's about the spiritual ego. We'll go deep and we'll go light. And recently, I have gone through a transformation. I've gone through a process. I've gone through a really big life change. So if you're new here, hello, nice to meet you. We're going to get deep today. I'm excited that you chose Almost 30. It means so much. We have over 600 episodes in our library of gold, of some life-changing information and resources. We also have Morning Microdose, which is our clips channel, which is incredible. Everything's at almost30.com, Almost 30 podcasts on Instagram and TikTok. But today's episode with me, Krista, who went through the life change, is about dating post-divorce. So I'm going to be talking about dating post-divorce, baby. And it's just a crack up because, so if you, again, are an OG and you've been listening since we started, I was the girl that was forever in a relationship. Since we started the show in 2016 in September, I had been in a relationship. That was the person that I ended up marrying and being with. So I was in a relationship for around 10 years. And you would have never thought. Most people don't get married and think they're going to get divorced. It's just one of those things. So never thought I'd be the one getting divorced. Never thought I'd be the one talking about this. I thought my dating days were over. To be completely honest, I thought my dating days were over. I thought I was done. I thought I was out. I thought I was down for the count. And I honestly am so grateful. I'm so grateful for so many reasons to have this period. And I actually talked about my perspective on dating, modern dating as a spiritual person in a solo episode I did previously. So we'll link that in the show notes and I highly suggest you listen. But this has given me so much insight into an aspect of our lives in the world that I wouldn't have had access to, because when I started dating my ex, we kind of were like at the period where dating apps were just getting started. So it was like Bumble had come on the scene. And I don't even know what else. I think I remember Bumble and what's that one? I was going to say Grindr. It was like Bumble, and then what was the other dating one? You guys. Tinder. Okay, Tinder. Tinder and Bumble were on the scene. I never got on them, kind of like missed the window. So now that I'm back in the mix, that's like a huge part of the conversation. But being someone that's had some experience, I've been in the game, I've been married, coming back into the dating scene has been so interesting, fascinating. It feels so different than when I entered it. Oh my goodness gracious. I think for one reason, I was a lot younger. For one reason, I was like always out. For one reason, you like don't really have standards. Like I think my standards were like over 6'2", has to slam dunk a basketball, like needs to make me laugh, likes to go to music festivals. Like I don't even really know if I had that much of a standard back then. So coming back into the dating scene, being someone that's post-divorce, it's just a whole different game. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about why dating is better post-divorce. I swear to you, dating is better post-divorce. And if you would have told me prior to my divorce that dating would be better post-divorce, I would have said, no. I would say, no, I don't believe you. I'm not quite sure. But it truly is so much better. So I always say to my friends that the real G's have been divorced. So many people that I know and love, that I respect, that I'm connected to, that I'm deep with, have been divorced. So many people. And maybe this is just my bubble. Maybe this is just living in Los Angeles where it's just a whole different world. That very well could be it. I'm on the same page. We're simpatico there. So it could just be my world. It could just be where I'm living. But so many people that I know have been divorced. And it's just such a beautiful thing to feel like you're not alone, to feel like you're someone that has taken a risk, to feel like you're someone that did something that felt really good and aligned for you at the time, and then to feel like someone that's not going to hold yourself to the version of you that was the day before. So the real G's have been divorced. So in the dating, when you reapproach dating being post-divorce, again, I was in a relationship for 10 years, and then coming out of it, I took a year or so off, like didn't date at all. And then I started to like intentionally date maybe 8 months ago. And the first reason why it's been so fun is because you're not as focused on the outcome. You're not as focused on the outcome. So you aren't focused on the ring. You aren't focused on the wedding. Like you aren't focused on like the engagement. You aren't focused on that whole thing. And it is such a relief because I do think that I would be more scared, or I just would be dating differently. I'd be like, I need my husband. I need my husband. If I was approaching dating now, as opposed to when I was like dating before. Because now I've had that. I've gone through a marriage. I had a wedding. I did that whole thing. It was really beautiful. And I know what it is. Like, it's amazing. And I don't regret any of it. And I will say the advice I give to people getting married, to be honest, this is something that's very different advice than most people give. I wish I would have spent more on my wedding, and I got divorced. I think weddings are the thing we should be spending on. Like for me, spending on, this is another tangent, spending on experiences, spending on people that I love, spending on like memories, spending on like core moments of your life that are like ingrained in your brain forever, that you live in this memory forever, that defines so much of your life. I'm like, I should have spent more money. Like, this is why I have money. I have money for experiences. I have money for people that I love. I have money to celebrate. I have money for all of these reasons. So, but knowing that, the wedding, you kind of like do the big one or you do the thing, you kind of go into dating and you're like, I don't really need that. Like, I had the wedding. And once you get married, then you're married. And then that's when the work really starts. And you really realize that it's not just about being married. It's not about having a wedding. It's like, it's about being in a deep relationship with someone that has the same values in marriage as you. And when you don't have that, it's like, you're like, okay, this doesn't even really mean what I kind of thought. So now I don't go into dates or dating and I'm not like, oh, like I'm not thinking about marrying someone because I don't have the same view of it. I just want to get to know someone and be with someone and learn from someone and grow with someone and be committed to someone in a way, but not have it be like legally binding or not have it be something that is a way, like a means to an end. I think sometimes when you're younger, it's like you're so obsessed with the wedding. You're so obsessed with like your bridesmaids and like your dress. And it's a really fun process. Like it's really beautiful. But once you have it, or once I had it, I was like, I don't even need this. Like it's not even really what makes a good relationship. Like a good wedding doesn't make a good relationship. I mean, like clip it, because a good wedding does not make a good relationship. You don't have a good wedding and then you're set up for life in this relationship. Then it's like the work really starts of being in relationship. So I really love approaching dating now post-divorce because I'm so much more free. I don't have that like, this man is going to be my husband or means to an end, or like I need him to fulfill this wedding fantasy that I had, or I need him to fulfill some like life goal of getting married in this certain way that I had. I just need this person to be an amazing partner and lover and like communicator and all of these things. I don't need them for that fairy tale wedding. So it makes me so much more chill and so much more laid back and so much more looking for like a human rather than someone like, I don't know, rather than like, I think in weddings, you're just like, I think a lot of times women almost get like possessed where they see past the man and they're like, I need to get married and this needs to happen and this needs to happen. And they kind of don't even involve their husband in things. He's like a pawn. It's like, you're just like, hey, show up on the day and wear a suit. And they're like, okay. And you plan this whole entire orchestration circus around them. And then they're just like, Yeah, this is the most important day of my life too, I guess. I had no involvement. I did nothing, but sure. So you're not thinking in that lens of this fairy tale wedding and this commitment, and you've been in a marriage, so you know what marriage is and you know what it feels like, and you know that you want it differently the next time. So being dating post divorce, you're just like, I'm good. I don't need you to fulfill anything like that for me. I already had the marriage. Like, we're all good. I really want the partnership now.
Okay, I am a new mom, my first year with my babe, and it's just been such a journey. I'm so thankful. I felt really good, and I was very I was very focused on just making sure my health was sustained in the postpartum period and just got better and better. It's a lot on your body, but I feel really great. And part of that journey has been keeping up with my AG1 every morning. Generally before working out, before making my coffee, I have this first thing. It makes me feel really, really good. It just gives me energy. It helps with my digestion. I basically mix 1 scoop of AG1 with water every single morning and drink it on down. It is delicious. And I just know that I am getting what I need. It kind of fills those nutritional gaps in my day, and I'm so thankful. I love AG1. We've been working with them for years. I've been taking AG1 for years. They have an in-house team of doctors, scientists, and researchers, and they work with third-party experts on studies that validate the benefits of AG1. So, they're all about the science. They are obsessed with the quality of their ingredients. So I trust them. For example, in a research study, 97% of people felt more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. 91% of participants noticed that they need less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. That is what I experienced, and it's pretty, pretty cool. So if there's one product I trust to support my whole body health, it's AG1. And that's why we partnered with them for so long. Starting your journey with AG1 is a win. I guarantee it. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/almost30. That's drinkag1.com/almost30. Check it out. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. Okay, I was running the other day, and sometimes your girl just does not remember to eat. And I was so thankful. I was so thankful. I was on my way to an interview for the podcast, and I was so thankful I had packed an IQ bar in my purse, and it saved me. Y'all, this is a plant protein bar that has brain boosting benefits, and it is just so satiating. It is yummy. It is chewy. I love the flavors that they have. And it has just saved me so many times over. So if you are looking for a bar that is really healthy, really clean, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, GMO-free, no artificial sweeteners or anything, you must try IQ Bar. I love the banana nut. I also love the wild blueberry. Those are my two faves, but they have a ton of flavors that you're going to be obsessed with. I also drink their IQ Joe. So most coffees out there make me very jittery, but the magnesium in IQ Joe smooths out everything. So I don't have any jitters. It's really yummy. And if you're a coffee drinker, I think you'll love this. They come in little packets. So you can have this single serving experience on the go, at home, whatever you desire. So refuel smarter with IQ Bar's ultimate sampler pack. That's 7 IQ bars, 4 IQ mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. And now our special podcast listeners, yes, that's you, get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text almost to 64,000. So easy right now. Your phone's right there. I know it. Get your discount. Text ALMOST to 64,000. That's almost to 64000.
So the second reason why dating post divorce is so fun is because you know what you're looking for, and you have such a better eye for the person that you want to be with and the person that you want to spend time with. And of course, the very obvious thing is to be like, well, yeah, you can compare them to your ex because your ex was like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, of course. You're definitely going to be processing and understanding and looking at and going to therapy about your previous relationship and looking at the things that weren't working and looking at the things that were not aligned or didn't feel good, or things that you'd want to change or things that you want different. So that's huge. So you're going to be coming at it with that lens. And then you also have growth periods after the divorce. So I would say my I now for what I'm looking for in my next relationship is so much more about the person that I've become post divorce rather than about all the things my ex was that I didn't want or vice versa. Does that make sense? So basically, so often people can go into the next relationship and be like, well, my ex was controlling and I don't want controlling. So I'm looking for someone that's not controlling. And you're like, okay, like starting with a negative and asking for a positive when you do that doesn't really work. So it's always like, what is the thing that like your energy or your frequency is going to call in? And what is the thing that like your heart desires and your heart truly wants? And for me, having this time and this moment post divorce to really settle into my own energy and settle into my own frequency and come back home to myself and rediscover myself and also to sculpt myself into the person that I dream of becoming has been such a pleasure and such a delight. And this is the woman that is looking for specific things from a partner, not the wounded girl that left the marriage. And I'm just going to let that land because that's a good one. I'm just going to let that just percolate in the ethers. It's the woman that's been sculpted from the experience that's looking for the next partner, not the wounded girl that's running from the ex. Okay? So I am a completely new person, completely new frequency, completely new experience. And I have a new set of desires. I have a new set of desires for my partner. And a lot of that, yes, has been learned from my ex and even in previous relationships from that. But it's also like, I've also learned a lot from my friendships. Having really deep, intimate, loving friendships has really showed me what I crave in my romantic relationship. I'm like, wow, I really love one of my friends is an amazing communicator, deep, amazing communicator, super processed and regulated. I can talk to her about anything. We can process anything. Hey, this kind of bothered me when you said that. Like, how does that make you feel? Or can you tell me more about that? And girl, the way that I want my man to communicate, let me tell you, you would think that I grew up and we didn't speak in my home because I am just like, I actually have to go to therapy about it because I'm like, why do I always want to communicate everything? Like, even with people that I'm dating, I'm like, can you tell me more about how you're feeling about this one thing? Or how did that make you feel? Or, oh, yeah, like I just want to process my little buns off. And I'm not like, it's not down processing. It's not sad. Like, it's just like, I love getting in people's minds and brains and understanding what they're talking about or thinking about and how we can be more close or understand each other better through our communication. Communication just means so much to me. So I'm learning in this portal of being single through my friendships what I'm going to be looking for in my next relationship. Like I said, I want an amazing communicator. I want someone that has really deep, intimate relationships and friendships. I want someone that is in their power, that feels really on purpose, that's connected spiritually, all these things. But I don't know if definitely before my marriage, I would have had that clarity and that understanding and that richness of texture of what exactly that I'm looking for. And also, the person that was going into the marriage is looking for different things than the person that's out of it because the person that's out of it knows themselves better, hopefully, is clearer on who they are, has been through more, has done a lot more inner work. All of this in a way is predicated by the inner work that takes place after a divorce, like all of the excavation you do internally post divorce and kind of looking at yourself. I mean, you guys, prior to my divorce, I went to in the darkness retreat. I was in a cave in Oregon in the dark for 4 days, 5 nights, I think. I don't even know. And I'm like, girl, if you didn't know I was getting divorced when I went in the darkness, I don't even know. I don't know if you can tell much because that was one of the obvious ones. And I did podcast episodes on that. So you can search Darkness Retreat Almost 30 if you want. But that was like a time where I really was like, ooh, what am I really looking for? What am I really desiring? And what I really, really want? And also, when I said earlier about the second point, the person you want to be with and the person you want to spend time with, This is huge because when you are older, I'm assuming if you got divorced, you're older than you were pre-divorce, and you are so much more like specific about who you spend time with. And you're so much more clear about who you spend time with. You're not going to be spending time with people you don't enjoy, people you don't like. There's no more mediocre relationships or friendships. Jay Shetty talks about in 8 Rules of Love, the difference between solitude and loneliness. You actually choose solitude most times. I mean, how many times my friends that are divorced, or even my older friends, that we choose solitude so often. It's like, ooh, girl, I want to be with myself tonight. Like, I want to spend time alone. I want to cook myself dinner. I want to read. I want to just be in my own energy and frequency. And you like would choose that solitude and that sweetness of being alone and just silent and in your own mind and thoughts and just traversing your own inner landscape over being in mediocre mid-tier relationships. Like, you just really are like, wow, my time is precious. I'm working a lot. I have amazing friends. I have amazing community. I'm doing my own work. I'm doing my own, self-discovery. So I'm going to choose that over like a mid relationship. And when you're married or you're in like a relationship like that, because of that commitment, you kind of have to stay in this period, sometimes like a mid period where you're like, I don't know, maybe, yeah, maybe. And you're giving like a little bit of energy, sometimes a lot. You just stay in that way longer. So when you're out of it, you're like, I would rather be completely alone right now than in with anyone that's like mid, than anyone that's mediocre. I also think this is another thought. I mean, you guys, these podcasts with me are journeys. This is a journey that we're both discovering on. This is a journey into my psyche. I have a theory that if you have a roster, you have like 5 people on your roster, none of them are good enough because you'd essentially be with one if they checked all the boxes, if they were a fit, if they were a match. And it's like, I tried the roster thing for a second and I'm just like, dude, I just, I don't want to be texting that many people. I don't want to text. I don't want to talk to that many people. I have so many people I talk to on a daily basis. I have so many women that I'm connecting with and coaching. It's like, what are you going to do? How's your Sunday? What? No, I don't want to do this. Like, no. So being someone that's post-divorced, you're so much more clear on how you want to spend your time, on who you want to spend your time with. And you have such a clear idea on what you're looking for and what you want in a relationship and the person that you want to be with. If you are post-divorce and you're listening to this, you should be journaling. You should be working through all of the things in the relationship that were really beautiful, that you really loved, that you want to continue to cultivate, and then all the things that were really challenging. You should also be looking at what about that dynamic you brought in. Were you the one that was raging? Were you codependent? Were you whatever the things are? And just get really clear. For me, it became really clear to me that play and laughter and fun is like a core part of who I am. That is like a core aspect of what I'm looking for in a relationship. I had that in my relationship and I loved that. I cherished that. Like, I cherish someone to play with and just have fun with and like be light and just be inner children with. So that is always something that I want to bring. And then other things that I, am looking for in the next relationship are a level of depth and emotional maturity that like matches the one that I'm at now that I've done years and years of work and now that I've been in this space for a while and have done my own have done so much work to become the woman that I am today. So that's now like a priority for me. And so if you're again someone that is post divorce, journaling is really important, writing down the things you want to keep, the things you kind of would want to let go of from that relationship. And then, like I said before, looking at your friendships and being like, what do I get from my relationships, whether it's male friendships, female friendships, whatever. What do I get from those relationships that I'd love to bring into my marriage? Do I feel really seen by this person? Do I feel really respected by this person? Does this person really make me feel good about myself? Do they make me feel more creative, more playful, more intelligent? Like, what is it about our dynamic that I really love? I have one of my friends that's super adventurous. She always is just down to do like an adventure and do something interesting and like do something fun. And I would love to do that. I have another friend who's incredibly giving. She's so, so giving. And I want to bring that into my relationship. So using your friends as a guide too, in addition to the people that you date, to cultivate the things that you're looking for in your next relationship post-divorce is also a really good one. So the third one is obvious, but it's you're most likely older obviously, time has passed. Good old father time. Good old father time. And you're probably hotter and better post divorce or breakup. So I have a fear going into my next relationship because it's a pattern for me, honey. I'm in relationship and I am it's actually what I'm working on in therapy is my fear of going back into relationship and just kind of becoming small again, losing this like radiance, the essence, the sparkle, the channeling of my divine essence that I've been doing since, leaving that relationship. So there is probably a part of you that's done so much inner work post divorce that is taking care of yourself, that is like on a mission, that has been like on it with your morning routine and your evening routine and your wellness routine and your matchas and all of those things. So often I've seen it time and time again for the women that I know when they go post divorce or breakup, they're in Bali the next weekend. They are on a vacation. They are planning things. They are like social calendar filled, like schedule set, like food delivery ordered, phone blowing up. Like women just really know how to set themselves up post divorce or post breakup, socially, emotionally, like spiritually. It's really, really beautiful. I think I've had a breakup before, my first love breakup that we all have had. And that one took me out. The first love is just like, girl, we're down for the count. You think you're going to die. But hopefully you've been through enough. You know what it is. You know how to support yourself. You're at a phase where you're understanding of like what you need and wanting to give yourself what you need. So you're doing all of the things. It's funny. I was talking to a friend recently who had a breakup. She was like, I'm really looking to like, take this course and take this program and I want to move and I want to do all these things. You want to be mindful of that part of us that's like, okay, blow everything up. I need to change my entire life. I need to like do all of these things and like I need to completely change. I need to become a new person. Cause that's sometimes running from things, trying to numb out, trying to ignore the feelings that are coming up of pain, of grief, of all these things. But there's a really beautiful part of us that comes online that's like, dude, this is such an adventure. Like, that's what I thought, when my relationship ended. I was like, wow, like, this feels like such an adventure for me. I'm so grateful for this like new lease on life and this new opportunity where I had a certain timeline where my life was going. It was going in a certain direction, going to be doing certain things with certain people in certain ways. That's completely over. Now I have this completely open road where I can go anywhere. I can do anything that I want. I can become whoever I want to be and I can be friends with whoever I want. I can just do me in a way that I didn't have before. And I was in a relationship where we were really independent. We very much did our own thing, but I definitely psychically and, in a lot of ways was holding back, was like restraining, was not keeping myself in a place where I was in that best version of myself. I was in my radiance. I was in my essence. I was in like my vibrancy because I was just really making myself small to try and fit in this sort of box in the relationship. So post divorce, you're taking care of yourself, hopefully. You're doing your self care, you're doing your routines. You have so much more time for you. I mean, women are such caretakers and caregivers and caring people that so often, when you get divorced, it's like how much energy psychically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually was going to that relationship. Oh my goodness gracious. The amount of time I was spending internally excavating in therapy, in couples therapy, processing, crying, feeling, wondering, not sure, sure. Da, 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 da. I mean, oh my goodness, I could have generated it. It was scary how much energy could have been generated from my brain during that time. And then to know, the feeling of knowing where you're like, oh, this is final and I know that I can go on this path. I actually don't know where it's leading and I don't know where it's headed and I don't know who I'm going to meet and I don't know who I'm going to date, but it's open and it's free and it's only me. Like I love that feeling now where it's like only me that's creating this future for myself. I've been in relationships since I was 14. I've always had a partner, always. And so now to be like for the first time in my life, I'm making decisions for myself. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm just sculpting this new experience completely driven by my intuition and by my heart and by my curiosity. It's such a freaking pleasure. So post divorce, you're most likely hotter, you're most likely better, you're most likely your best version of yourself. And if you're not, you're on your way there. And if you're not seeing yourself clearly. Because if you think that you're not your best version of yourself, you aren't seeing yourself clearly, truly. I know it's rough, and I know there's different types of divorces and different types of breakups. I have many people and friends and community that have gone through horrible situations and breakups, and it can break you. But when we are broken open in a way that like is so stunning and so beautiful. I love the quote from Rumi, of course. Rumi says, "The wound is where the light enters you." And so often when we are at this place, we're completely broken, we're on our knees, we are just like so desperate, is when we find ourselves again, when we create the life that we love, when we start to really embody a version of ourselves that we've most likely been hiding or most likely been suppressing. And so I've found just such beauty in the breakdown of my life and beauty in the breakdown of relationships. And it's really led me to such a more beautiful experience. So seeing yourself clearly that this is a moment of choice and this is a moment where you can choose to be on a new timeline, to be in a new experience, to choose you, to choose what your soul wants, to choose this like adventure that you're about to go on. And remember that you are definitely better. If you did a decision, if you were led by your heart to make a decision to be in a situation that's better for you, there's no way you can be led astray. There's no way you can be led astray. So, four, if you have done the work, post divorce, you're a better communicator. Y'all know Krista communication. Yeah, okay, talk about communication. You guys, communication is everything in our 3D experience. Okay? I'm I'm unwell about it. Let me give you an example. We had an interview a while ago. You guys are never going to find this person. You're never going to know. And this person is pretty big online, has a great book and great work. I mean, amazing work. I loved the book, loved what they were doing. And they came and I was like, why aren't they bigger? Like the work is amazing. I'm like, this is crazy. Like this is profound. You know, when I was reading online and reading in the book, and then they come for the interview, great person, and they're not a great communicator. They're not a great speaker. They cannot distill down ideas so they're digestible. They cannot get in their body enough to um, have a frequency that you want to tune into or you want to feel safe with. They weren't able to clearly express the things that were going on in their mind and stay grounded. I was like, oh, they're not big because they're not a great communicator. So much of people being successful in life is if they're able to communicate. And so much of the success of relationships is if you're able to communicate. And hopefully, through this divorce process or, you know, a breakup process, you were communicating from the heart. You were communicating, you know, your needs or your boundaries or your wishes or about the process. And again, this is if you're allowing these things to make you a better person and you're allowing these things to lead you closer to you and closer to the person that you want to be. But you're most likely a better communicator. I am such a better communicator. Oh my goodness gracious. Gracious Lord, whether in therapy, couples therapy, all the work that I do, just recognizing that so much of the issue in previous relationships was really my inability to communicate, you know, inability to communicate with love, with patience, inability to really like allow my protector part to come down to hear this person for what they're saying and who they are. Inability to express love in hard times. I always found that challenging. You know, I'd get so activated and my protector part would come out that I'm like, da 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 da, but never would really be at one to be like, yeah, you know, I love you so much and this hurts. And so now being at a place where I've practiced with people that I've been dating, I've practiced in relationships, I've practiced in friendships, you're such a better communicator. You really probably recognize that in the relationship, if you have been divorced, a lot of the issues are around communication. If you're able to communicate with love and from your heart and with kindness and grace, you're more likely to stay in relationship or, you know, end it consciously. And I've just found that I'm such a better communicator and I have so much more self-love and I'm really more confident about who I am and what I have to offer. The breakup and divorce can break you down where you think that you're not worth it. You think that you don't have anything to offer. You think that you're not good enough. You think all these things. But when you really, really do the work to understand yourself, to cultivate self love, to love all the parts of you that feel like they're unlovable, I think that's a huge thing in parts work, which is what I practice. You really seeing that the parts of you that got in that relationship or the parts of you that want to leave are worthy of love. They're worthy of respect. They're worthy of admiration because they're really doing the work of your soul. If you left that marriage or relationship, most likely it was led by your soul. The soul's desire for a new experience, the soul's desire for a deeper, more meaningful relationship with someone else. So, more self love, better communication. You really know what you have to offer. I think in the response in a divorce, you can be like, well, they don't even recognize me, or they don't even meet my needs, or they don't even see me, or they don't even understand what I have to offer. And I thought that quite a bit. I'm someone that always has struggled with feeling seen, and feeling understood, and feeling um, able to be held in my multitudes. I am so deep, and I'm so light, and I'm so smart. Hee hee. And I'm also silly, and I'm also like messy, and I'm, all these things. Whatever. I sound like a Taylor Swift song, but I'm all these things. And I've always felt like it was kind of like distilled down to like one sort of thing. And so I've always wanted to be seen more. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that really helped me understand, what did I want them to see me for? How did I want them to perceive me? How did I want to be seen by someone I loved? And then I could write that down. I could get clear about that. And I could be like, this is what I have to offer. I'm really funny. I'm really deep. I'm really loving, an amazing listener. I'm really playful. I love adventure. Whatever the things are that I wish I had a partner that saw me as, I'm able to sort of write that down. So post divorce, even if you're feeling low, you can write down all the things you wish your partner would have seen you as the things you offer, because you obviously see that in yourself. So you obviously see those really beautiful things in yourself, which is huge.
I don't know about you, but for years and years, I put my hair through the ringer, coloring, heat styling, stress. And I'm like, I'm getting older. So aging just does things to your hair. So I'm on a journey to just make my hair as healthy as possible. And I found some products that I think you are going to also love. They're going to help repair the look of the damage, but also shield your locks from the future harm. Cause I'm still using a curling iron every once in a while, and a straightener, and a hair dryer. The brand is Lola V, and it was founded by the fabulous Jennifer Aniston. You know her, iconic hair, needs no introduction. But she also got tired of the same old struggle that we all face, choosing between hair products that work and ones that are actually good for us. So she basically created these products as the answer. They are clean, they are plant-powered products for every hair type, and they actually work. A lot of like clean hair care out there does not work, but they actually work. And I just wanted to share some of the products that I absolutely freaking love. The post-shower glossing detangler. Oh my gosh. I have tangly hair. I have like thin, tangly hair, and man, oh man, it makes it so freaking smooth, gorgeous. It's awesome. I also love the Perfecting Leave-In Conditioner. It just makes my hair so soft, so moisturized, like so healthy looking. So those are like the two that I'm loving right now. The lightweight hair oil is also great. I use that this summer my hair can sometimes get a little dry. Sun can make it dry. So those three are like my go-tos. So if you want to unlock Jennifer Aniston approved hair at lolav.com, go at it. LOLAVIE. As our loyal listener, you'll get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use the code A30POD, A30POD at checkout. That's 15% off your order at LOLAVIE.com with promo code A30POD. And just please note, you can only use one promo code per order, and discounts can't be combined. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them, and please support our show and tell them it was us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And your hair will thank you for this too. It's summer, everybody. It's a simple summer, but I am doing certain things just to make me feel really, really good. I'm working out, I'm eating healthy. I am getting my vitamin D, but also protecting my skin. I am doing things that I love. I do feel good, and I'm thankful. No matter what I'm doing, I am always, always thinking about my gut too. Because if my gut is off, it's it's not a great experience, not going to be a great summer. So I'm bringing Seed with me everywhere I go. Their DSO1 Daily Symbiotic I've been taking for years now. This is an incredible supplement. It's a 24 strain probiotic and prebiotic that benefits your gut, skin, and heart health in just 2 capsules a day. It's pretty amazing. I have noticed better digestion, less bloating. I have noticed that my skin has been awesome, and I have more energy. It's pretty awesome. It's no wonder because your gut is the central hub for so many pathways through the body. So it really makes sense that when we take care of our gut, we just feel better overall. What's different about Seed is that they have a patented capsule and capsule design. So that means that the fragile bacteria inside can survive the entire journey from shipping to your door to where it works best in your body. It's pretty awesome. Most probiotics, prebiotics do not survive the journey. So this is why it works. Support your gut this summer with Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic. Go to seed.com/almost30 and use the code 25almost to get 25% off your first month. That's a pretty major discount. I would take advantage of that now. It's not going to last forever. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/almost30. The code is 25almost.
So number 5 is huge on post-divorce dating. So I think the biggest thing is the journey is recognizing in the journey that not everything is permanent and forever. This is obvious. It seems banal. It seems trite. But you really realize that. I think for so much of my life, I would be friends with people and I'd be like, I'm going to be friends with you forever. You're my bridesmaid. You're going to be the godmother to my children. Even to the relationship, you're like, we're going to be together forever. And as I get older and as I get more embodied and as I get more, as I approach life with more lightness and more, I just really get curious about the experience of like committing to a lifetime with someone when we don't know what that lifetime will bring. I am this person now in this now moment, and I don't know what God has in store for me. I don't know what the Creator has in store for me. I have no idea what's coming, and I don't know how that's going to impact me. I don't know how that stimulus is going to cause a response in me. I don't know who I'm going to become. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I am definitely the driver's seat of my life, but I don't really know where the journey is going to take me. So I really recognize that obviously nothing is forever, and we can say these things and we can truly hold on and grip to people and situations and jobs and just holding on and gripping and be like, yo, I just really want this to be forever. And it's like, because other people are going to judge me if I leave the relationship, because my parents were married forever, because I feel like I have to, because I feel like that's a failure, because I feel like I'm not going to find anyone else. So often the forever is led by fear and not by love or not by expansion or like abundance. It's like the forever is like a gripping and a holding rather than like a lightness and an ease, where in my relationships now, it just feels so much more open. It feels so much more free. It feels like less tight gripping. It's like, I'm really enjoying this right now. We'll see how it goes. Abraham Hicks always says, instead of getting married, you should say, I like you very much. Let's see how it goes. I like you very much. Let's see how it goes. And I will most likely be married again. But it's like, I don't really like attach the forever as the marker of success. Forever doesn't mean it's successful for me. So when I go into dating, I had these really beautiful experiences where I'm like, oh yeah, that was perfect for what I needed at that time in that moment. That's exactly what I manifested. And it wasn't forever. And that's okay, because my soul needed to have these karmic relationships and experiences right now to, for some reason, I don't know, for the adventure of it all, I don't really know. But in dating post divorce, you're like, yeah, I've been married. I've had the forever. I actually did forever, and it wasn't forever. And now I know with dating that it doesn't need to be forever to be meaningful or impactful. I can have really beautiful relationships and partnerships that are deep and meaningful and have a very big impact on me. And it doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be long term. It can be something that's short. So I think when you are in that portal post divorce or post breakup, you really are like just coming at people and places and things with a lightness of seeing the experience for what it is and the person for what they are, instead of like, I need to find my husband who is my forever because I am scared that I will be alone, or I am scared that I'm not worthy, or I'm scared I won't have a family, or I'm scared of all these things. You're just like, yeah, I'm a human on earth and I'm just seeing what's up. What if you're a guy listening to me? What are you thinking? Like, is she okay? That's the whole, this is the whole thing, you guys. This is what I want you to know. I want you to approach dating. I want you to say, I'm just seeing what's up. Hey, everybody, mark that on your Hinge profile right now. I'm just seeing what's up. I'm just a baddie who's seeing what's up. Because that's really what it is. I'm just seeing what's up. I'm not expecting anyone to be anything. I'm not, you know, giving people more props than they deserve when I first meet them. I'm just like, I'm a person, you're a person. Let's see how the energy works. Let's see if this is a potential. Let's see if this happens. And I think when you approach dating, post divorce and breakup, you also really don't, I think before when you meet, or maybe this is me, so I'll just speak for myself, you guys. I won't speak for you. I approached men and I was like, I would meet a man and I'd be like, I want you to be everything. So I'm going to make you be everything. I'm like, wow, I feel, oh my gosh, girl. I'd felt chemistry. And then I'd be like, because I feel chemistry, that also means that you're going to be a great partner, that we're going to have a great life. You're going to be, you're going to be attentive and you're going to listen and you're going to be empathetic and all these things because the chemistry was there. It was like the chemistry just led all. And I think after being in the game a little bit, not my first rodeo, you really realize that chemistry is amazing and it's powerful. And if I could inject it in my veins every single day, I would. If I could swim in a pool of chemistry, I would. If I could take a chemistry pill every single day, I would. If I could make a merch line that's for chemistry, I would. If I could represent chemistry as a talent agent, I would. But you realize that that doesn't make a good relationship and that doesn't create a great partnership. And so you're not really falling for chemistry as much, or you're not really prioritizing that as much as you are the things that potentially you didn't get in that previous partnership or that previous marriage. So you're really going for things that are much more grounded, much more mature, much more adult than before. You're like, yeah, chemistry is great. I'm feeling it. This feels amazing. And did you ask me any questions at dinner? Because my ex never did? Or did they, listen to me with eye contact? Did they have great body language when I was speaking? Because I didn't, that's important to me now. And I can really tune into that. And the chemistry isn't going to fool me, from the previous times. So in this season, I'm having so much fun. And sometimes I'm not having fun. And that's just what it is, you guys. Sometimes it's so much fun and so magical. And it's like, oh my God, I'm the life of the party for my friends. Just tell them all the stories. And then sometimes you're like, this whole thing, I don't know how you guys are doing it. I don't know how y'all have lived, because it can hurt, even the short-term things. Um, if you have your heart open, can hurt. And that's just what it is. But you know how to be with yourself, and you know how to love yourself, and you know how to support yourself through it. You've done it before. And so you're really able to come home to yourself much quicker, and you're able to know that you've got this and you're going to get them on the next one, or you're going to be in that relationship that you love. So dating post divorce, some of my favorite things as inspiration for you, as like hopefully a little shot of motivation for you or hope for you. I know I get so many messages from you about this that are going through your own journey of breakup or divorce. So I'm just grateful to be sharing more about it to all y'all. And some of my favorite things, let me just recap. So, first, you are not focused on the outcome of having a wedding or having a marriage. You've had the process before, and you know it's not just about the wedding to make a successful marriage. So you don't usually date with like the first desire to be married. Secondly, you know what you're looking for, and you have a better eye for that person you want to be with and the type of person you want to spend time with. Third, you're most likely older and hotter and more yourself post divorce or breakup. And if you're not right now, you will be, I swear. 4, if you have done the work, you're a better communicator. You have more self-love and more confident about who you are and what you have to offer. 5, and you know in the journey that this journey is not permanent, it is not forever. And then 6, you don't fall for chemistry. You're going to be more adult about it, and you're going to really look for things that you're looking for in an amazing partner, or you're going to be intentional. This is my whole bag. I want to be intentional and be like, I want chemistry right now. This is fun. So those are the 6 things that I've really enjoyed about dating post-divorce. And I'm so excited if you're embarking on this journey. I'm just a proud mom over here for all you guys, for all of us doing this together. I love you very much. You're very meaningful to me. And if you want more episodes on dating and relationships, we have so many. So you can search relationships, almost 30. You can search dating, almost 30. We have great episodes with experts on dating as well. Lindsay was in her dating portal for the first couple years of the podcast. I was in my marriage portal. And so we kind of flopped. So we still have a bunch of content for you to support you in this journey. And you can also find me on Instagram. I'm at It's Krista. It's ITSKRISTA. I support women in a one-on-one capacity through coaching. I also have retreats and courses and programs and stuff. So I'd love to connect with you. If you have any thoughts or if you need any support, I'm your girl. And Almost 30 episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday. You can find us at almost30.com. We have 600 episodes of goodness I want you to dig into. Thank you for subscribing, rating, and reviewing. It means the whole freaking world to me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.